Hello everyone, I am Mrs. Hem Kumari Patel, Assistant Professor of English, Government Paluram Dhanania, Commerce and Arts College, Raigad. Today we will learn about voice. Voice in English grammar refers to the form of a verb which indicates whether a subject in a sentence performs the action or it is the receiver of the action. When the subject performs the action, it is said to be in active voice, and when it is the receiver, it is said to be in passive voice. Hence, voice is broadly classified into two types: active voice and passive voice. Although active and passive both have same basic components, but their structures are quite different. Now the question arises, why do we need passive voice? Dear students, you all might have seen the notice of your college starting with all the students are hereby informed that. This is a sentence in passive voice. We need passive voice. We use passive voice when the subject is not so important or when the subject is not known. Whenever we want to emphasize on the action rather than the subject, then also we use passive voice. Active voice tells what the people or the things do, whereas the passive voice tells what happens to the people or the things. Active voice is direct, clear and easy to understand, but passive voice has its own importance. It makes the sentence stylish and it is generally used in informal language. Today we will try to learn what are the prescribed steps to change a given sentence from active voice to passive voice. Let me show you a chart. Here are the steps how to change a given sentence from active voice to passive one. The first step is bring the object of the sentence in place of the subject. For example, Priya writes a letter. The basic components of this sentence are: first one, Priya is the subject. Subject means the doer of the sentence or the main agent. Writes, the word write is the main verb or the action verb, and the word a letter is the object here. Now the question arises, how to identify an object in a sentence. Dear students, the easiest way to identify an object is to ask a question with what. Suppose I ask, what does Priya write? The answer will be a letter. So a letter is the object here, and I am bringing this word in front of the sentence to start the sentence in passive voice, a letter. Now the next step is to add the auxiliary or the helping verb according to the tense of the given sentence. Since this sentence, Priya writes a letter, is in present indefinite tense, while making it in passive voice, we use is, am and are as helping verbs. Let me show you another chart to take the help. Here is a list of auxiliary verbs in active and passive voice. You have to be very careful while using the helping verbs because they are quite different in tense and passive voice. For example, in passive voice we use is, am and are in present indefinite tense, whereas they are used in present continuous tense in active voice. So you can take a screenshot or note it down so that you can learn it later. Since the subject a letter is singular, we use is with it. A letter is. Now the next step is add the past participle form of the main verb. The main verb write, its past participle form or the third form is written. You have to remember the list of the main verb, how to change them into past participle form. A letter is written. Always remember that in passive voice we use the past participle form in every tenses. The next step is add by followed by objective form of the subject or the personal pronoun. When the subject is given in the form of noun such as Priya, we use the noun as it was Priya followed by. And when the subject is given in the form of pronoun just like he or she, we change them in their objective form. Let me show you another chart. subject in active and passive voice. These are the personal pronoun. First person I, it is changed to me in passive voice. First person plural we is changed to us. You remains as same. He is changed to him. She as her. It remains the same. And they is changed to them. Now let's discuss about omission of subject in passive voice. Since in passive voice we aim to emphasize on the object, we are normally not interested in the subject or the doer of the action. Hence we leave out these words in passive sentences. There are three possible situations where the agent could be omitted. The first one is when the subject is not known. For example, somebody stole my wallet. Here the action is more important than who stole the wallet. The next situation is when the subject is obvious. For example, the police arrested the thief. When we change the sentence into passive voice, we make it the thief was arrested. As we know, the answer will be by police. So it is not necessary to mention the obvious subject. The third situation is when the subject is not important. For example, they make shoes in that factory. We change the sentence as shoes are made in that factory. Again, here the action is more important rather than the agent. Now let's see the sentences having two objects. There are some sentences which have both the direct and the indirect object. For example, he gave me a pen. When we ask the question what did he give me? So the answer will be a pen. Hence a pen is the direct object and the recipient of the action me is the indirect object. In such type of sentences, there are two ways to change them into passive sentences. The first one is to start the sentence with the direct object. Since the direct object is a pen was given to me by him. And when we start the sentence with indirect object, it becomes I was given a pen by him. Here me is changed to I. Though both the ways are correct, but the second one is more usual and preferable. For example, we lent some money to Raghav. Again here, Raghav is the indirect object and some money is the direct object. When we start with the direct object, it becomes some money was lent to Raghav. And when we start with the indirect object, we can say Raghav was lent some money. Different types of sentences are changed by different ways into passive forms. Let's first take the imperative ones. A sentence that expresses a command or an advice or a request is called an imperative sentence. I repeat, a sentence that expresses a command or an advice or a request is called an imperative sentence. The imperative sentence in passive voice begins with the word let and the auxiliary verb used here is be. But the structure is first let and then the object and be and then the main verb in past participle form. Remember student, always in passive voice in past participle or third form of the main verb is used. For example, open the door. It is a sentence which expresses a command. Open the door. When we change the sentence into passive voice, let's start it with let. Let and the object here is the door. Let the door and then be and the third form of the main verb open is written here as opened. Let the door be opened. The second example is learn your lessons. It is an advice. Again, it is started with the word let and then the object the lessons. Let the lessons and then be and the third form of the verb learn is learnt. Let the lessons be learnt. The third example here is do not make noise. When the sentence is negative one, we add not just before be. Let the noise not be made. Let and then the object the noise and then not and the auxiliary verb be and the past participle form of the main verb make becomes made. Now the sentences with modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries are the words like can, could, may, might, shall, should, need, must, dare and dare not, etc. These sentences are changed with a particular structure. For example, I must clean the house. When we change the sentence into passive voice, first we use the object, the house, and then the modal auxiliary, must, and then be is used after the modal auxiliaries. And at last, the main verb of the sentence in past participle or the third form. The house must be cleaned. But when the modal auxiliary have the words like have, we use been in place of be. For example, he could have sent the letter. The letter could have been sent by him. Here we use been in place of be. Again, one example is there. I can speak English. English is the object here. English and then the modal auxiliary can and then be. English can be. And the third form of the word speak, spoken. English can be spoken by me. I becomes me. Now let's take the passive of interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences means the sentences asking a question. These are of two types. First one, yes no questions, and the second one, WH questions. Yes no questions, for example, did he pass the exam? If I ask this question, the answer will either be yes or no. In this type of sentences, the primary auxiliary like do, does or did do not appear in the passive voice. In present indefinite tense, we use is, am, are, and in past indefinite tense, was or were is used while making passive sentences. Making passive voice of interrogative sentences is little bit confusing. For that reason, I have splitted it into 3 steps. The first one is remove did and change the sentence into assertive one. Did he pass the exam? Since the sentence is in past indefinite tense, in assertive form, it becomes he passed the exam. Now it's easy to change it into passive form. The object, the exam, was passed by him. The exam is the object here, was the auxiliary verb used in passive form in simple past tense, and then the past participle form of the main verb passed, and then by and he changed to him. Now when we have changed the assertive form into passive one, we have to change it into interrogative form. Since the question is in interrogative form, so let's bring the helping verb or the auxiliary verb in front of the sentence. Now was comes in front, was the exam passed by him, and put a question mark. Was the exam passed by him? If you are little bit practiced, you can directly change the sentence into passive voice. Since the sentence is in simple past tense, first add was because it is interrogative and helping verb will be put in the front place. Was, and then the object was the exam, and past participle form passed by him, and then the question mark. The verbs like has, have, will, can, may, etc. do not change their position while making passive forms. But WH questions like who is always changed to by whom, and by whom is changed to who. For example, who broke the window? If you like, you can again change the sentence into assertive form. The window was broken. Since the sentence is in past indefinite tense, it doesn't have any helping verb. And now when we change it into simple form, we use was or were. The window is singular, so we use was. The window was broken. Now when the sentence has been changed into passive form, let us change it into interrogative. We have again to put the helping verb in front of the sentence. Was the window broken? Now at last we have to add by whom in front of the sentence. By whom was the window broken? This is the answer. Now at last here a table is being shown by changing a simple sentence into passive voice in all tenses. Have a look at this and practice at home by taking other similar examples. What is needed is to learn all the auxiliary verbs and the subjects, how to change them while making them passive. Please take a look again in the chart. Tenses like present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future continuous and future perfect continuous. In these tenses, the auxiliary verbs remain unchanged and they are rare in use as well. Dear children, thanks for watching this video patiently. Hope you enjoyed and learned simultaneously. Thank you.